Hi guys, this is Sam, and today I'm gonna start setting up my bullet journal for 2019. This year, I am using a black Leuchtturm 1917 A5 dotted notebook. For full disclosure, I do want to let you guys know that I went ahead and sketched everything with a pencil before going in with any pens or markers, because I am definitely a perfectionist when it comes to my bullet journal, and I find that if I go in with a pencil before, it helps to dramatically minimize any mistakes that I could otherwise make while creating my spreads. Now, without any further ado, the very first spread that I'm going to put in my 2019 bullet journal is my key. If you're completely new to bullet journaling, basically, a key is a place where you are going to put all of the symbols and indicators that you plan on using throughout your bullet journal to keep the information in it consistent. The symbols and indicators that I like to use are a dot for a task, a diagonal line for task in progress, a full X for task completed, an arrow for task migrated, which means that I will move it to a different date. I like to cross out the entire line if the task gets cancelled. I like to do a dash for a note, an open circle for an event, a triangle for an appointment, and a star if it's a priority. The very next spread that I am making is my yearly log. A yearly log is basically a page where I am going to have the calendars for the months of the year and space below them to write things that I would want to schedule in advance. There are many ways in which you can make this spread, but it honestly just depends on how much space you think you need for each of the months. I personally don't need a lot of space for this specific spread because I do like to keep my personal stuff and my school stuff separated in my bullet journal. I find that by keeping it separated, it is a lot easier to plan every month. I will be making a different video with all of the spreads that I use for school, but for now, I want to talk about the way I use my bullet journal for my personal stuff. On this spread, I like to put things that I find out in advance that relate to my personal life. So for example, if I buy a ticket for a concert that's happening in 4 months, I will put the date of the concert down in this spread. Same thing goes for any doctor's appointments or any other events that just have nothing to do with school, basically. I also like to put birthdays in here because even though I know some people like to do an entire different spread for birthdays, I find it so much easier to just have everything that's happening in my personal life with my friends and my family in one spread so that I can just look at it once and be able to plan the entire month without having to look at multiple spreads. If you are currently looking at this and thinking, no, I definitely need more space than that, then what I recommend you do is just to split it into 2. By splitting it, you will end up with a 4-page spread, but you will have a lot more space to write things below each month. If you do like the way I set it up and you want to recreate it, I do want to let you know that under each of the calendars I have 10 spaces. And obviously, as you can tell, I have all 12 months in one full page. After my yearly log, I am going to start setting up a couple of collections that I will be filling out throughout the year. The very first one I am calling Write It Into Existence, which I thought was so whimsical and cute, but essentially it's just a bucket list. So in here I'm just gonna be writing down things that I want to do and that I want to accomplish throughout 2019. And basically I am just gonna be writing down the title and leaving a bunch of space underneath it to just write things down as I think of them. Next to Write It Into Existence, I am making a tracker for 3 of my main goals for 2019. So the goals that I am tracking are related to books, running, and music. As far as books go, I have about 10 titles that I really want to read in 2019, so I am making myself a reading list and making it a priority to get through those books before I read anything else. As far as running goes, I want to be able to run a half a marathon in 2020. So for 2019, I am going to be tracking little running milestones and writing down the date of when I accomplish them. As far as music goes, I am a songwriter and my goal for 2019 is to write 15 songs. So what I'm doing with that is anytime I write a song during the year, I am going to be writing down the title in this tracker, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have all 15 titles written in this spread. So as I was ready to move on, I actually realized that I spelled the word existence wrong. And even though I hate making mistakes, sometimes I still make them no matter how much I prepare for them. But that's the thing with bullet journaling. You're creating something from scratch, so sometimes you're gonna mess up. But that's okay. With this, I just put a little bit of white out and fixed it with a pen, and it looks as if nothing happened. Finally, the last two spreads that I am going to be setting up for my yearly collections are social media related. On this side, I am going to be making a social media tracker. And honestly, this is my third year making a bullet journal, and it's the very first time that I'm doing something social media related. But I just thought that it would be really interesting to see if my social media grows at all this year. So basically what I'm going to be doing is at the end of each month, I'm going to be logging into 4 social media accounts and recording my numbers. And as far as decoration goes, you really don't have to do anything. You can keep it as minimalist as you want. But for me personally, I love to doodle and I love drawing. So for this spread, I am going to be drawing the icons of the social media that I'm going to be tracking. And lastly, on the other side of the page, I am going to be making a spread for the ideas that I have for YouTube. For this spread, I am going to be creating a chart and dividing it into 2 different sections. In one side, I plan on putting all of the ideas that I personally have for my channel. However, on the other side, I plan on putting down any ideas or requests that I get from people. So with that being said, if you have any video requests that you would want me to make, please leave me a comment down below and I would love to write it into my spread and hopefully make it this year. But anyway, back to the spread. This one is a really easy one and it works for a bunch of different things. I'm doing it for YouTube obviously, but you can use this format and this spread for pretty much any kind of brain dump that you want to make. It's really easy. All I did is do a big box and I divided it into 2 to better organize my ideas. So this spread concludes my 2019 bullet journal setup. I really hope you guys liked this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And I want to let you know that I will be posting a lot of bullet journal videos in 2019. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because I don't want you to miss any of them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy planning, you guys.